Motivates, and I am your life coach. Today, I wanted to chit chat with you guys and share you some support and some encouragement today because I think encouragement is so important. And also, with encouragement, I believe that support is so important, and every single person needs to feel supported, loved, and appreciated. Hi, Lara. How are you doing? Every single person deserves to feel loved, valued, and special. And I believe that that is so highly important to feel supported. So, we're going to be talking today about survivor support to anybody who has ever been through some heavy things in your life, some heavy things, some dark things. And I think that it's very important to speak about things. I am not one to run from hard things, hard conversations, and and talk about it because it's important as survivors of whatever it is that you have survived. It could be PTSD, it could be DV, it could be SA, it can be um, verbal, emotional, financial, ABUSC, any form of ABUSC that you have survived, because I think everybody survives something. And I know what it felt like for me after surviving years and years of trauma from childhood, years and years of trauma from being in a romantic relationship. And as a survivor of those things, we need to have the conversations. We need to have safe spaces to where we can have conversations, because we never get over the things that happen to us. You never get over it. But one thing with this life is you learn how to go through it, and not let your past define you, not let your past keep you stuck, not let your past destroy you, but letting your past empower you. Now, that is the hard part of being a survivor of whatever situation, going through something heavy. Hi, Sirius. How are you doing? Welcome in. Being a survivor of a DV, being a survivor of SA, being a survivor of DV, being a survivor of any form of ABUSC, we need to have these safe spaces to have the conversations to say, whatever happened, what happened to me, first of all, acknowledging it. And many are afraid to say, this happened to me. I went through this, you know. Me as well, Sirius. Thank you so much. Um, we should not be afraid to say, I went through this. I went through that. This hurt me. People took advantage of me. And being survivors of that, it takes a lot from within us to say, you know what? You took advantage of me. You didn't treat me the right way. And as a survivor of many forms of ABUSC, and you all as well, ABUSC, trauma, and all of it, it affects your mind. Um, Years and years of manipulation, years and years of being put down, taken advantage of, feeling like you were inferior when it's quite the opposite. You are not inferior, but you have to go inside of yourself and give yourself the permission to say, this happened to me. It was not right. And I know for myself, I hid from that for many years. I hid from saying, this hurt. I wasn't loved. I was lied to. I was manipulated. I was controlled. I was taken advantage of. And it's time for me to heal. That's what I want this conversation today of survivor support. We're going to be going into different areas of survivor support, but this is the first edition of survivor support. And I wanted to say this, that how you feel, it matters. Whether you feel numb because after going through, being taken advantage of, or something happened to you that wasn't right, we kind of numb ourselves to it as a way of coping. Maybe you push your feelings in the back of the closet, like you don't make it a priority, and you most definitely don't talk about it. The reason why it's not good to push things to the back and ignore it is because it shows up in other ways in your life. It really does. It shows up in other relationships. You become angry or cold, rude, disrespectful. You're not able to function the way that you want to. Hold on a second, guys. My allergies, my nose is running. I am still here. Um, you're not able to be there for yourself like you want to. You're not able to show up for yourself like you want to. But the thing about it is that as adults, now we have to do something about it, right? We have to do something about our life. Now, I know that oftentimes surviving trauma, surviving negativity, surviving being controlled, surviving being ABUSED. And yes, we're going to say it just like that because that's exactly what happened to many people. When you go through that, it shows how strong you are. And I'm proud of every single one of you to have the strength to say, I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm going to hold my head up. And this conversation today is about getting help, seeking help, and the things involved in getting help. See, we need more than just saying, I'm not okay. We need more than just shedding tears. You need more than just faith, which all of those things are good things. It's good to have conversations. It's good to have your faith. It's good to reach out and get support from other people. But we need more. We need to get the mental health from what happened to us psychologically, from what happened to you sexually or financially, what happened to you physically. It's a lot of things that maybe you may not even be aware of. Hey, Boss Life Online, how are you doing? We may not even be aware of some problems that happen to us, but they still exist. So this survivor support is about that. Maybe it was that your parents or parent, didn't talk to you the right way, always screaming or arguing with you. Maybe they put their hands on you, assaulted you a lot. Maybe it was that you were sexually, you know, you know, you guys know where I'm going with that. Sexually abused. It could be that you were verbally always put down, always berated, made to feel this small, always put you down. You were controlled. You couldn't have any ideas, any opinions. They controlled everything that you did. So this survivor support is so important that we have the conversations. And on this on this episode of survivor support, we're going to talk about validating ourselves. Sears says, oh, you can say SA. Okay. Yes, if you were SA'd, okay? If you were DV'd, if you were traumatized, if you were taken advantage of in any way, that it's not okay. I want to say that because there's not a lot of safe spaces for people that validate that. Saying those words out loud, I was taken advantage of. I was used. I was ABUSED. And that's not okay. See, this is how you get your power back, by not just ignoring it, because you stay in that mode of pulling back from everybody, kind of receding, isolating yourself. And yes, that's important for the healing process. That's important for the coping process. But also, we can't stay there. I don't want you guys to stay there. I want you to get to the space of peace and joy and happiness in your life. And I'm telling you because I have been through many forms of ABUSE, and I am at the space of peace. I am at the space where I can talk about it without having a breakdown. But I couldn't say that years ago. There's no way. Because I didn't want to acknowledge it. Because it's too much pain. It's too much pain to say, this happened to me. It was too much pain, but when you get there, you will get there. But I want to tell you guys that it's not your fault. Many times, as survivors of so many things, we will blame ourselves. You know, I did this, I did that, and maybe you did put yourself in some compromising situations. Maybe you did not have enough self-esteem to speak up for yourself. Maybe you've been hiding this for many years. See, we're going to be breaking all of the chains. We're going to be removing them because it's time for us to be shackled to pain. It's time for us to let those things go and experience peace of mind and to have freedom, because holding on to that anger will keep you stuck. Holding on to that anger will stop you from success. Holding on to that anger, it will disrupt your relationships. There are so many people who can never get into a romantic relationship because of their ex or because of childhood trauma. And that's so sad. See, but today, we're breaking those chains. We're not going to let ourselves stay stuck in misery and pain and just say that we're survivors only. Today, we're going to speak of victory. See, we're victors. We have claimed victory over our life, and we're putting that in the atmosphere. You're putting that into existence, and we're not going to hide from the hard conversations. We're not going to hide from the acknowledgement. We're not going to hide from, it's time for me to have my peace. We're going to take our power back, and we're going to claim it. See, I want every single victim of being taken advantage of, SA, DV, PTSD, emotional, mental, verbal, sexual, any form of ABUSE. I want you to take your power back and take it back today. We're not gonna keep crying ourselves to sleep, just crying and making our tears be like a river every single day. Are you ready to let that go? I'm ready to let that go. That's why I didn't even bother to put on lipstick today, because I knew I'm already getting very emotional. But we're going to have this conversation. We're going to do those things, okay? Let it go. See, we're going to let it go. We're speaking that out loud. See, and that in itself is a very powerful thing. And you take a deep breath and say, I'm not holding this inside anymore. I'm not holding it inside. See, that is a survivor support. See, together, when we band together, we are strong. You are strong. See, we are stronger than we think. And I need you to affirm that and say it out loud and acknowledge it. I am stronger than I think. I will give myself freedom. I want you to tell yourself, I will give myself freedom. I'm not going to stay in the space of anger. I'm going to stop doubting myself. I'm not going to let whatever happened to me to be how I look at myself for my entire life. We may have been taken advantage of, disrespected, but today we're empowered. See, we're going to use our pain. We're going to use our struggle. We're going to use our sadness as fuel. You see how you get stronger? This is my fuel. This is my story. This is my testimony. And we're not going to let them win, right? We're not going to let them win. We're winners. You're a winner. And I'm so proud of every single one of you for your strength. And you may not feel like it. See, a lot of times people will think the tears, right? The tears are a form of weakness, but let it go. Let the tears fall down. Give yourself the permission to say, I'm not holding this inside of me. I'm not holding it inside. I'm going to be honest with myself. I'm going to stop punishing myself. I'm going to stop blaming myself. It's not my fault. And it's not your fault. Whatever somebody did, they were selfish. They were evil, wicked. They took your peace from you. They took advantage of you, and you did not deserve it. You didn't deserve it, and I didn't deserve it. Okay? Yeah. Lara says, yes, you're going to let it go. That's right, Lara, let it go. Sirius says, let go and let God. Yes. Boss Life Online says, no, you will not let them win. Don't let them win. See, we cannot do anything about the past and change what other people did, the hurt that they brought, you know? And I know many of us have had trust issues behind going through certain situations. A lot of trust issues. You look at people sideways. You take your time. But that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. It means that you now pay attention to discernment. You make wiser decisions. You do. And I'm proud of you guys. You make wiser decisions. Hold your head up. Today's conversation is about getting help. And the first step is admitting it to yourself. I admit this is what happened to me. Take your power back. I'm not going to walk around with my heart broken, my heart heavy, carrying the weight and the burden of it. It's time to release it. See, I want somebody to say, I will release it. Don't carry that around anymore. It will make you physically ill. It will mess up your mental health. It will rob you of peace that you deserve. And we're not keeping that inside. Nope. Hi, Realist. How are you doing? And we're not holding that inside. You're not going to hold that inside. We're going to free ourselves and we're going to let it go. Yeah. And we're letting it go today. You are going to let it go today. So we're talking about getting help. What are some ways that we can get help, survivors? We can talk about it. We can join support groups. You can go to therapy. Now, I know many of you are going to be like, oh, Marlene, therapy doesn't work, or I'm scared to go to therapy, or I don't want to be labeled. But listen, if you want to be helped, if you want to be able to get the tools to help you to stand up and be strong, and I know the only way that I'm able to hit this button right here and go live and talk to you guys and have this sort of strength is because I was empowered. Because somebody helped put the my broken heart back together. It's because somebody told me that I'm still enough, even in my pain. And I say the same thing to you guys too. You're still enough even in your pain, even when you shed tears, even whatever story, whatever decision, whatever you may think about yourself. We need to reset. And this is the amazing opportunity, and I'm speaking to you as a friend and as a life coach. This is your opportunity to reset your life. Let's stop being sad. There is strength in numbers. And the more of us that band together and to say, it may have broken me, but now I'm whole. Now I'm put back together. Yeah, there's a lot of people who let situations, and it cracks their mind, messes them up for the rest of their life because they don't understand that it's a choice. It's a choice how you choose to look at your life. You can say you're a victim, or you can say I'm victorious. And that's how I choose to look at my life. All the situations that I have been through in my life, the times where I have been taken advantage of, disrespected, traumatized, I did not let my situation control me. I didn't let other people, I didn't let manipulators control. Don't let those manipulators control you. Don't let them take away your promises for the future, your hopes and your dreams. Don't let anybody take that away from you. You're too special. You are too special. Do you know that about yourself? And if it wasn't for therapy, I would never be able to say that I was something, that I had worth. I felt like my worth went away during my whatever, everything that happened to me. I think, yeah, I'm still frozen. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay, I think it came back. I got a phone call. So we are stronger together. Today's conversation is about getting help and not staying in the same position, the same way of thinking that we have been. Has somebody told you that, you're not enough? Maybe somebody told you that you are worthless. We're not worthless. It takes a strong person. It takes a very courageous person, a victorious person to against all odds. The odds may seem to be stacked against you. And some people, they're counting on you staying down. Don't let them win. Don't let them win. They feel like they have won. There's a lot of people who like to step on you to elevate themselves. See, but now with an empowered mind. Yeah, you're empowered now. You have some fuel. You have something that another person doesn't have. Everybody is not strong enough to bounce back. See, and that's what I want you guys to be, like that rubber ball, and bounce back. Bounce back. We're not going to stay in the victim mode anymore. And I want you guys to be strong. You deserve to not be sad. You deserve to have yourselves getting help, getting therapy, going to counseling, joining support groups, and showing up for yourself. There is many reasons why I go for exercise. Exercise for me is a healing to my mind. It gets my mind off of wild thoughts, because I have to tell you guys, if I'm going to be transparent, I'm going to be all the way transparent. And there's many times I just don't want to get out of bed. Just feel so down and discouraged and depressed. You'll let your whatever you be thinking about it and thinking about it, because something could happen to you 20, 30 years ago and it's still fresh in your mind as if it happened yesterday. But that's why anytime when you start thinking about one or many of the situations that hurt you, people that hurt you, situations that hurt you, things that people said about you, this is when you need to set an affirmation in your mind. So today, for all of my survivors, I'm going to give you an affirmation. I deserve to be here. I deserve to be my best self and to be happy. And we're going to get our way to happiness. That's what this series is all about. Every 2 weeks, we're going to do a survivor support. Okay? Yes, we are not going to suppress our emotions. Are we serious? Thank you, Gio. That's a great topic. And yes, we can hear. Yes, support together. You know, don't feel that you have to handle it alone. Please don't isolate yourself. Staying at home in a dark room or in a dark space, just laying in bed. It's time for us to get up, for a walk, spend time with friends, go to those group meetings. See, most people don't want you to be better. People want you to stay stuck and angry and miserable for the rest of your life. But I don't want you to. And you shouldn't want yourself to. Let's not be victims anymore. Let's be victorious. Go and get help. Talk to somebody. And don't forget about faith. Faith will move mountains. Whatever it is that you believe in, use that. Sierra says it's good to connect, co-regulate, co-reflect. This allows you to manage that suppressed pain that carries throughout your life. Too much to bottle it up. Emotional pain will cause you more damage. Yes, it will. See, and we're not going to keep ourselves in doubt. My camera just cut off. We're not going to keep ourselves in fear. We're not going to keep ourselves in doubt. We're going to get up and we're going to fight for the lives that we deserve. So all you survivors, you're strong. And I want you to say to yourself, I'm strong. I'm proud of myself. I will get help. Go and get that help. Talk to somebody that you trust. And it doesn't have to be the first therapist that you meet. You may have to go through a few therapists until you find your therapist. And you find a life coach, a person like myself, who's going to encourage you to develop healthy habits. And I have to tell you that it takes a while to develop those healthy habits. And to not procrastinate in getting help. See, we put off getting help, seeking help, talking about what we're going through because you just get used to it. You've been doing it for so many years, holding it inside, and now it's time for us to develop some healthy habits. We deserve to show up for ourselves. We deserve to release ourselves of this pain. We deserve to do it, but you got to do the work. You have to do it for yourself. See, that's the empowerment part. That's being victorious. We're not just going to lay down and let other people win. We're not going to just sit around and be sorry for ourselves. We're not going to just sit and revel in that pain. Oh, and the pain and crying. And yes, I get it. Yeah, you're going to have those days where you're going to cry. Those times where you're going to cry. Shed those tears. That's important. But we're not just going to stay there. Let's get into some advocacy. Helping another person to stand up stronger. And that's what I do. Every time I stand up and say, yeah, I'm a survivor of many things. Yeah, I've been through a lot of things in my life, but I don't let my situation keep me stuck. I don't let my past control my present. And you can do the same thing. You may not feel like it, but I'm a human just like you. I'm not a robot. I have my very sad days, my very low days, and that's when you have accountability partners. That's when you have your support groups that you go to. That's when you have your journals that you write in, and don't hold that inside. Journal about it, and don't be embarrassed to say anything that you feel. I've had my days where I just feel like I just want to just stomp that person into the ground. I just wish I never met them. You may say some crazy things, but that's your personal truth, and don't hide from your personal truth. Okay? Let's see some of the things that I missed here. Sirius says, oh, okay, I read that one. Geo says, yes, it does come back sometimes. I just say, you don't own me. God does. My power is my own. Goodbye. But you have to get help before you will be strong enough to say this. Yes. And that's the reason why we are doing this as a series, an empowerment series, because it takes time, it takes work, and you have to develop trust again. You may not feel that, but I know, having gone through this for many years, you have to develop trust. You have to learn how to trust yourself. You have to learn how to trust other people. You have to learn that it's okay to show up for yourself and to not keep yourself sad and miserable and angry. It's time to be free of that. I want you to be free of it because I know how good I feel now that I have freed myself. But I'm still human. It doesn't mean you're not going to feel sad. But now I know, because I have the tools, what to do when I feel sad. I'm not just going to stay there. I'm not just going to let the pain win. I'm not going to let the situation win. Yeah, I shed tears. I get upset. And then I know how to go to my lifelines that help me to pull me up. You just need somebody to call you, talk to you, do all of the things. So all of you survivors, keep your head up. You're not a loser, you're a winner. The fact that you still are going, that takes courage. And you need to start saying that to yourself. I'm proud of myself. I'm very strong. I have overcome. You got to speak life over yourself. You may not feel like that in the beginning. You just want to be upset and angry. You're going to have to go through all of that. You're going to have to go through the anger. You're going to have to go through the sadness. You're going to have to go through the blaming yourself part to get to the space of peace, to get to this space of now using your story as your mindset. You change what you focus on. You change what you think that you can do. And you can do great things. Amen. Every single one of you. Okay? Gio says, I had to face the problem before those words above worked. I am so glad that I went to therapy. It worked for me. Find what works for you. Yes. And that's the important. Don't run away from crying. Talk about it, because if you don't, it will come back stronger. It will make you angrier. People find themselves in these situations because of so many unresolved issues, so much trauma, so much ABUSE. You know, there's so much people right now that are incarcerated because they didn't go to therapy. They get themselves in situations, or they settle for romantic relationships because they didn't work on themselves for their self-esteem. But we're not going to do that. We're going to put in the work. Why? Because we love ourselves. You love yourself. So keep showing up for yourself. Show love to yourself, because you're deserving of it. Okay? Siri says, right. Some people are morbidly insecure about their own struggles. Dealing with SA and DV is something people are not talking about due to embarrassment, insecurities, or afraid of the person. Yes. There's so many people who are hiding. you know, who have moved, who have changed their life, their name, everything so that they can live, so that they can have a new and fresh start. So any of you who are new, please get help. Please show up for yourself. Please find a support group. There's many support groups, and I'm going to link it in the description box after this live is over. But I want you guys to know that you are loved, you are valued, you are worthy, and you are more than enough. Okay? So this has been Survivor Support. That's been my 30 minutes. But I just wanted to show up for you guys and tell you guys that we're strong. You are strong. But guess what? Collectively, we're stronger together. Keep your head up. Don't give up. And anybody who maybe you don't want to talk about this online in the comment section, feel free to send me an email. My email is linked, and you can remain anonymous, and we can chit chat in the comments. There are some that they're not ready to go to therapy, but they just want to talk with me. I also have a level on my membership that I go into deeper things, giving support as a life coach. So reach out. You don't have to go through this alone, okay? This has been Survivor Support. I am Marlene Motivates, your life coach. I hope that this has been on some levels helpful. I hope this has been high blended healing. I'm just about to get off. Thank you so much for popping through. Um, I hope you guys find your way to peace. I hope you find your way to joy. Know that you're enough. Talk about it with people that you can trust. Join those support groups. Don't go through this alone, okay? Not next week, but the week after, we're going to get back to another survivor support. And I think in that survivor support, we're going to talk about starting over, okay? So we'll do that. Thank you guys so much. May you have peace. I'm Marlene Motivates, your life coach. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care of yourself. Stand up for yourself. We are not victims. We're victorious. I'll see you guys on the next one.